Like that one time we were all like, no, and he still went live.
Oh, I don't remember that. But we're live now. We're welcome back.
Oh, we're good to go.
Oh, hour 3 of
Oh,
Lost
you're
Initiative.
there.
Hey, how's it going? I miss Sam.
I do too.
Who's Sam?
I know, right? We're gonna replace him.
I miss him because he's really our moral compass.
Without him, Thunk has free reign.
I had people asking me if we're. Go ahead, Maggie. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. Mine's not less important.
You're like, I
I'll
want
go.
more time to
Go ahead, Bear. What you got?
I want more. Like, I personally don't want Grauman to be. I like Grauman being a good character, and I feel like without her here, that Grauman, as a character himself, is gonna go downhill.
I may be with you on that. I'm a little worried about Otto's moral barometer at this point.
Listen, I gave up going after Grauman directly. I just go after Otto now, and Grauman follows suit.
All right.
Where are we
This
at,
one is-
Pizza Man?
Don't let him do it.
I've
to
had
you.
people. I've only finished a little more than half. I really have a pizza left.
We can talk more.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that the. So I've had people ask me, "Oh, you're gonna get somebody to replace like a temporary sub in while he's gone?" And I was like, honestly, we're at like an important part of Mathis's story, and the idea of adding in another character that can like sidewinds that. I'm like, I don't know. I like the idea of knowing how the story is going to go based off of the characters and how they interact with things and blah blah blah. If we just threw like a random PC like Splat or anybody for 4 weeks, and he was just playing an orc, and he could totally derail everything that Mathis has worked on for 26 weeks of sitting back while everybody else goes to the bar and has fun. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. No, I think I like it. We'll let Sam. We'll just appreciate his absence. So when he comes back, he'll be like,
He comes back and the world is in flames and hell has taken over.
Yeah.
to be fair, he's the one holding the torch and is like, so guys, a little something happened. All right, so damn it, I have to do one more side tangent. I'm so sorry. On Friday, we didn't have Splat, and so EE had to roleplay Splat's character, same as I had to roleplay Sam's character earlier that week.
Yeah.
It was horrible. It was as bad, if not worse, than my playing Sam's character. And it was funny because later on, I role-played as that character, just like funny, and he role-played as Sam's character, just funny. I'm like, why didn't we just like take over each other's game for the week? That needed to happen because I obviously couldn't. And yeah, whatever. But all right.
It was funny because like not only did you not sound like Sam,
Your accent like went from like British
you were
to
actually good. Yeah, you were started good, and then
it started strong and then it went like some accent I've never heard of in my life.
yeah, it was like weird, real weird. But
I don't know.
you were also saying stuff like I think one time you went on like this long tangent, and then I was like, I would never say any of that.
I was expressing Sam's complaints as opposed to Rye's complaints, and I realized I was like, no, Maggie totally called me out. That was a legit thing. Like I actually fucked that up like hard. But,
oh yeah. Sam would maybe say that stuff, but his character
and has repeatedly many times. But I don't think Rye would say that. She does some things, but she's not an orcist. So all right, let's keep going. You guys make your travel. One of the things that you notice while you're traveling on this steed here, it doesn't last very long. It only lasts for a few hours. But during that time, you make incredible distance. So you're traveling at like about 4 miles an hour. Sorry, that's very inaccurate. Not 4 miles an hour. That'd be terrible. It's like walking. You're traveling at about 16 miles an hour on these things, and that's just it moving at a basic pace. You can actually push it to get like an additional 4 miles out of it and make it go. So you guys will end up doing that, pushing these things and riding hard to make it 20 miles an hour for about 4 hours, getting you guys like 35 to 40 miles of distance. One of the other things that you notice is these wispy things. It doesn't matter how steep that mountain they're trying to climb is. If it's something that's climbable, they do so. It doesn't matter how rocky the terrain might be or how rough that area might be. When you're riding them, they seemingly ignore the fact that terrain is there. And it's not like they float above it or anything. They just don't care that it's there. It's almost as though their ghost-like feet, the wispy feet, can just land on anything and find footing and keep moving forward. So they move very quickly, and they move deftly through this terrain, which is incredible. And it makes a voyage that could have been very long just through terrain alone much quicker. So your journey actually only takes you about 2.5 days to get to be where it needs to be using 6.5 days to get to where you need to be using these horses to push it on. And you're even able to avoid fights, because sometimes you're like, oh, that looks like it might be an ambush over there. Oh, they're coming out and shooting crossbows. Your horses move so quickly, or your wolves move so quickly, you can actually circumvent these combats entirely, just like ride away from them so quickly. I mean, their speed is 100. If they double move, that's a speed of 200. You're already out of range of most basic range weapons. If you're like actually pushing it, like running, you can even go even further, even faster. Blah blah blah.
Sweet.
So you're able to get to the city that you're trying to get to at a decent pace. Makes you guys very happy, especially since you've been traveling for so long. The town that you're going to is, as I had said before, a town by the name of Dead Snows. Yes, sir. Dead Snows. So, Dead Snows was a town when you come up to it to look at it. It sits alongside of a river. It sits alongside the river of Ice Spear Stream is the name of it. So, coming to this town, which actually does have it's a walled town all around it, which is wonderful. Not entirely sure why, what the case may be. You see a walled town all around it, a little bit removed from the river. It's not like it's built on it, has docks or anything like that. Coming off the side of the town, between the walls and the river itself, there seems to be a bit of like a shanty town that's built up over there. A whole bunch of like lean-tos and shanties or whatever that are built up, making like a more expansive town that's over there. Honestly, it's so big. It looks as though its population must almost increase the population of what this town was prior by 50%. Now, Mathis, did you tell them about why the shanty town might be here? Did you explain
I would explain that. I would explain why. Like, there's a gold.
Prior
basically
or
a
as
gold
you're
rush.
seeing this?
We'll say like when we're a day out. Like one day out, I just let you guys know. Like, the reason this town is actually so important is, or at least recently important to the towns around it or other cities around it, including Dark Arrow Keep, is because it's basically a gold rush has happened. Gold has been found. Prospectors have started flooding in, and it's become a point of contention for for surrounding cities to create treaties and deals and market deals and whatnot with this area.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew I heard that word. There's gold here.
Thonk nods.
Grauman.
Well, that makes sense that people won't be here for gold.
Right, but we got to get some of that.
But
Guys,
how
we
would
got to get some of that gold. Right?
You can't even carry gold you have.
Well, that doesn't mean I don't want more.
Where you put it?
You got pockets?
Grauman's pretty encumbered right now. if we really want to talk about how much stuff he's carrying.
It's funny because you are actually carrying a considerable amount of stuff.
I'm carrying like 4.8k gold on top of like 9 weapons.
Yeah, you've only added to your arsenal since.
Yeah.
Thonk to like,
Potions.
Seeing Otto kind of jump and chomp at the bit for gold, essentially, addresses him calmly and just says, think about it, Otto. We're here to start a war. And where there's war, there's spoils. You'll be able to take what you want.
Right, but they...
Including gold. As of right now... Yeah, Thonk kind of continues, like, as of now, the gold is being regulated with paperwork and treaties, and higher-ups sitting on it.
Every new thing you introduce puts a more disgusted look on his face.
We're
Structure.
Here.
Treaties.
Thonk nods, like, agreeing with you. We're here to remove those.
I like that.
I thought you might.
True capitalist. Regulations. What is this?
Bureaucracy.
Red tape. Oh,
No
God.
thanks.
Give somebody else a chance? No. Get there first. There's your chance.
As a millennial, I'm all about anarchy.
And avocado toast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love avocado.
Can't
And
get
toast.
enough, man.
You are a millennial. See? We're going to be best friends, Otto. Best friends.
Oh, mine are too far away.
I need physical versions of those names.
Don't worry, I got Grommen right here.
Grumman
So
just
cute.
voyeur watching.
Yeah. and Rye is like, I've killed Rye
No!
Oh,
You monster!
with a
Why'd you do that?
Starbucks like little stirrer.
You were so bitter about Sam leaving, you turned her into a voodoo doll.
Yeah, that's
feel like-
so
I
creepy.
feel like Rye would be one of those people that complains about like trends and people that are trendy and hipsters and stuff like that, but totally just drink Starbucks while doing it. You know what I mean?
Those
That's
plushies
funny.
are still the-
I have my Thonk right here because Thonk is not with everybody else. Everybody else is like cuddled off to the side together, and Thonk's not playing well with others. So
Surprise!
So-
No, me and Otto have been Thonk and Otto have been getting along.
Yeah,
sure,
been connecting.
sure,
Exactly.
absolutely. And you get along.
Trying so hard
you
to
get
make
along-
friends. Just
Get-
give me one friend.
Get along very well with the overlord that comes by to check on your work. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, the dungeons with you? No, doing a great job. Hey, thanks. So moving on. As you guys approach and you see effectively two different options of where you can immediately go to, and certainly one where you can find. What's your decision? There is the actual town itself with the inside the walls. There's this like lean-to shanty kind of side town place thing over here. And then you also know that there's supposedly 2 score of orcs under the direction of Ugrith that is somewhere nearby lying low. Where is it that you would want to go and so on?
What are you two thinking? Because I'm thinking just heading to town, at least to start.
Yeah, just to scope it out probably is best to.
Yeah.
walk
Because the
around.
shanty town, I would imagine, is like the gold rush people. They're here to pan for gold and make their money.
Right,
So they've set up
right.
like lean-tos and shit like that.
Mhm.
Grommen or Maggie, what are you thinking?
Yeah, it's fun with me. Cool.
Okay. So as you make your way over to the actual town and the open gate that you travel into, nobody says anything or thinks twice of the fact that you 3 are there. There's 2 half orcs and who's legitimized by the fact that there's a halfling there.
Thanks for legitimizing me.
Yeah, I got you guys.
As you're walking in with literally on foot because you ain't got no horses. You magically traveled here. Those wolves helped you out a considerable amount. So as you guys go walking in, they just kind of like take note of you, say hey, but nothing really. But what catches your eye as you're walking in is you notice that there are a couple of guards to this town that are actually escorting in a group of people. So you see 3 guards to this town that are escorting in a group of 7 people. Of those 7 people, you see that 2 of them are ladies that are wearing old and kind of like beat up clothes, but seem like at one point in time they were of bright colors and fancy design. Certainly accentuate all of the greatest features of those ladies. Amongst the rest of them, everybody else is being pulled in there is a bunch of different men. They're varying ages and races. One of them has no pants on. Being like escorted in.
Are they being
manacles.
escorted as like prisoners, or are they being
Prisoners manacled into the town.
And they're wearing like what was once bright clothing?
The 2 ladies are wearing what looks like they were nice clothes at some point in time that accentuate all of their best features.
Or
But
my
now
man is
they're
just
kinda like
lacking
old and-
pantaloons.
And one of the men ain't got no pants on. The others do.
Does he have trousers on at all?
He's got a long enough shirt that you only see in the bottom of his butt cheeks.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So he's not packing heat, not dangling below the shirt.
I mean, does Thunk go over and kind of like make sure
This
he
is
checks,
really
or-
important
Hold
stuff.
up,
I mean, like-
I have a 23 perception.
Okay, well, Thunk sees what's going on. You know what I mean? He actually takes a mental note, like, oh, maybe I should whip out the measuring tape later on and make sure that things are okay over here. So,
Are
is this
any
where
of-
you wanted, Mathis? Is this where you wanted things to go? Okay. Nobody's comfortable now. Let's move on.
Well, to make it more uncomfortable, are any of them like super attractive?
Of the people going in there, the one not wearing pants is not super attractive. The 2 ladies that the 2 ladies are being escorted in, they're of average to good looking in status, but clearly have tons of makeup on to make that difference if you are the kind of person that's into that sort of medieval style makeup. So it's like very obvious, like lots of powder and some blushes, and very, very obvious. And then the other 4, sure, some of them are good looking.
I'll just go up to like a nearby person who may be like watching as well, and just gesture. What's going on over there? Why are
Another bust?
Bust of what?
Whore, probably with the whores. Looks like a gambler. No idea what the other 3.
Is whorehouses and gambling illegal in the area?
Where aren't they? And he actually says with a slight tinge of interest.
Thong just shakes his head. Far, far, far west. Gambling and whoring is illegal out here, and interesting. I will look to Otto with a knowing glare.
Ramen is sad.
Aw. Grommen just gets a pat on the back from like Otto's. It's like, it's okay, buddy.
Otto's just been sort of staring at the average to good-looking women as they pass by.
Well, if you're talking about the 2 ladies, they'll certainly, as they're passing by and they're not being very graceful at the moment, as they're kind of like being moved along. One of them kind of like realizes that you're looking, and she kind of like tosses like a wry smile, and right as she tosses you like a little wink there, all of a sudden like one of the other people trips up a little bit on their chain of manacledness, and she kind of like and gets all sorts of graciously shoved off to the side, and yeah.
How embarrassing.
Otto just giggled.
The moment where you're trying to look sexy, but you just fail. Hey.
Not that, being arrested is not already a fail in and of itself.
Hey, hold up, man.
Dangerous,
Yeah, right? They live dangerous lives.
Gotta love a woman in chains. Oh, yeah.
Wow, okay.
That took that to a weird place.
I want to genuinely believe as you were saying that you didn't realize like what you were saying until it was too late.
Yeah, that was all. As soon as it came out of my mouth, there was a sentence that I regretted saying for sure.
It's okay. We get it. Bear's really into bondage.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's fine.
Hey,
So-
no kink shaming.
Okay.
We wait for them to go in, and then we go in, I guess.
You continue into the town behind them. Awesome. So when you go into this town, I mean, it's not like this place is non-existent. It's not like it's a thorp, but it is a smaller town. I mean, looking around, one of the things that you quickly noticed, again, walking through here, you guys have traveled a lot. You've seen a bunch of different cultures, a bunch of different ways that things are done. Usually when there's a town, immediately outside of that town, there'd be farms and whatnot. And even those peoples are incorporated into the population of what lives here. The walls here are actually built pretty well. And while you know you saw some farms around the area, you imagine, like, you didn't see many, and you imagine there aren't many. The walls built this thickly, this well, usually are places that aren't going to have, unless it's like a big city or metropolis or whatever, aren't going to have many living outside of it, because it's clearly dangers that inspired the construction of these. So that, combined with the fact that you didn't see many farms, you believe probably everybody that lives in this area lives in this town. And as the guy said to you beforehand, Mathis, that it was less than 1,000 that lived here prior to the shanty town being built up. So it is not a very big place. However, it's actually a little bit denser than you would expect. It almost has that large city feel to it because of how densely made it was within the walls and how they've been forced to live their lives despite its really small size. Okay. So you go into the place, and again, it does feel a bit densely packed, but the buildings in here aren't lean-tos and shanties. They're actually well-made wooden structures. There are signs. There's an organization. There's clearly a government and way of life here that makes sense to these people. So everybody around, kind of like as those are walking by, most people kind of shaking their head at who's going, like the people that are being walking by being arrested. They stop and watch because that's entertainment. You can't like YouTube. So you watch the people getting arrested. Yeah, there you go. And you start looking around at the town itself. Again, feels a little inner city for its size. Go ahead. It's predominantly human, like more than 50% human. It's another important thing to pick up. More than 50% human, about a quarter dwarves, and then it starts to break down from there. Elves, half-orcs, halflings, so on and so forth.
I guess this is Thonk's plan isn't to be like in and out in a day. Like I want Thonk has plans to be here for a while. A while. So probably an inn of some sort, a place where we can grab a room or 3 rooms or
Set
whatever.
up a base of operations here.
Yeah, for the ladies to bring them in.
Get some chains for the ladies. Apparently,
Exactly.
is what I need.
Well, we're not paying them money to be there. They just it's their birthday, and their birthday gift is some money, and it has nothing to do with whatever else they're getting for their birthday.
Right.
Well, are you guys? I mean, do you want like a nice place? Like, are you willing, like, screw it, let's spend money to have like a good base of operations where we don't have to worry about things around me and bothering us, whatever the case may be? Or are you like, I don't give a shit if I sleep on a rock, as long as it's a place to rest my head when I'm drunk?
I'm thinking Otto would argue for fancier lodgings, given the fact that I've already earmarked some of the money I plan to make from this place. So let's go ahead and spend fancy.
Okay, so if you're doing that, what was that, Maggie?
It's like Grumman won't disagree.
Okay, so one of the things that you guys are going to be able to notice, one of the things that you notice is that there aren't many rooms available. There just aren't, because there are prospectors out there, and some of them are wealthy enough to spend money to actually have rooms here, and some of them have to stay out in that area that's out there. So since there aren't many rooms, you're going to have a little bit of a struggle finding one. So could you guys do me a favor and roll me investigation check to try to find a room? And if you do not speak Chundathan, you have to roll at disadvantage. I believe Thonk and Otto do, and Grumman does not, because Otto is learning it over the course of a long period of time.
Oh.
Everybody 11 anyway.
Okay, so actually Otto gets the best one amongst them. So walking around and trying to find out the answers, you find out a few options, but the only one that's really a nicer option, there's 2 of them. There's one that is a dwarven place. It's called the Hospice of Marthammer. So this place is a nicer place that actually allow you to stay for the first night. Food, bread, cheese, a bed, all that stuff. It's 2 miles outside of the village itself, though. But food, bread, all that stuff, you're welcome to stay for free for the first night. However, after that, you have to pay 2 silver pieces per person per night, 3 if you actually want food included as well. So that's a decent place, but it's a couple miles outside of town, so it takes time to get to and from town to do things. It is a very dwarven-friendly place, so it's predominantly dwarves that stay there. And one of the things that Otto is able to pick up while listening and talking to people and whatnot is that dwarves actually get a cheaper price than everybody else. Other than that, there's another place called the Blazon. This is actually a really nice tavern. It's actually a pretty good tavern. It's predominantly a place for food and drink and merriment. He only has 3 rooms available there. One of the rooms is huge and can support up to 6 people in it, and it's very comfortable. And the 3 of you guys would have a whole area to lay out your equipment and blah 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 blah. And 2 smaller rooms. One can fit 2. Sorry, they both can each fit 2. But he's charging those 5 gold pieces a night.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Because, and that's why. What is it? 2 out of those 3 rooms are open. The huge one and one of the smaller ones are all open.
The big one is 3 gold a night. 5
gold a night.
How many nights are we gonna stay?
Let's just assume, because the way Mathis is speaking, let's assume a month.
Yeah.
So you're talking 150 gold.
150 gold. Okay.
Probably at least a month.
Oh, we could pay 150 gold.
Let me go. Can I go talk to the owner?
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah. His name is, you've come to find out, his name is Lenore. Some people talk about him with disdain, like what a douche. And some people are like, smart guy.
Yeah.
Like, sure, he might not rent it 5 nights in a row, but the 3 nights that he does makes up for it.
Grumman will give him 200 gold.
Wait a minute. Before I'm even able
Otto's like going up to like bargain, and then Grumman comes up with just a bag of gold.
Just comes up
200 gold.
That's 200 down.
So Otto goes walking up to him to say something, and as Otto opens his mouth, a huge clunk of the shingle of change is put on the counter, and he's like, "All right, well, here's the key to your room. Looks like you're gonna need 3 copies. Sure, yeah. Here's another key. Here's another key. I have those for you. If anybody else is joining you, no questions. Let me know, and I'll make sure I get you another copy of the keys. I'll count this out and find out how good you're clear for, and how long in a little bit.
That's not it, though. That's not the end. Grauman puts it down, and Grauman says, "I give you 200, but you let him sing."
Otto just looks up at Grauman, smiling.
Yeah, yes, this is it's a hard bargain, but you are a big man. You are a very big man, and not somebody I want to disappoint.
Oh, he sings really good, though.
I bet he does. He may sing. I will allow him the use of my stage. It's comes at a steep cost, but I will allow him the use of my stage. And you have that room. There are locks on the door and the windows. There are 2 closets in that room. Each one of those have locks as well. The key is right inside there. Amongst yourselves for how you do it. There's also one chest in there, also has a lock on it. The key is left inside for you. Meals are at this time, and this time. If you're getting a little hungry and I have something left over after mealtime, let me know. I'll see what I can do for you. Any questions?
Otto's just smiling at him. Nope.
Sounds, pleasure. I will send word up to you later on. Other than that, I will leave you alone. You enjoy your stay here at the Blazon. I imagine it's going to be a wonderful time.
Otto smacks the counter. It sure will be, won't it, Grauman?
Grauman's like, I can imagine like all smug. Like, I did it.
I did it. Yeah.
Oh. Thunk. Thunk just shakes his head. And he just walks away.
Thunk doesn't care.
I get one moment, one chance to shine. Grauman slams down 10% of our gold reserves.
You could have negotiated more stuff. You should have.
Maybe. I was a little too distracted.
By a giant sack of gold being plopped in front of you.
Oh, that used to be mine. Could I? Oh no, you took it.
Yeah, that's right. That's your gold. Grauman just like negotiated with. Oh my god, that's great. That's so good.
I was like, finally, a person to talk to.
So you guys are you guys make your way up to the room. It's pretty obvious which room it is when you go upstairs, because there is an upstairs. When you go upstairs, there's 5 doors up there. The first 2, you can see they're actually slightly open because there's somebody that's working between them. One of them is like cleaning supplies and stuff for keeping the place up, and towels and stuff like that. One of them is a bunch of like food supplies, things to bring downstairs, things for a quick grab to get downstairs. The other 2 that are on either side, either way, they're locked doors. Yours is the one at the end, and it opens up into a massive room. It's not like it's multiple rooms. It's not like there's a living room and a dining room, or no, it's just one big room. But it's a massive room. It's so big, and there's 6 large and comfortable-looking beds over there. Quick test of the mattress shows that they're shitty mattresses, and the linens are terrible. But there's a large room with 6 comfortable-looking beds that are inside there. There's actually 2 windows in this room, which is very unusual. You get to have 2 whole windows. One's looking out this way, one's looking out this way. So there's 2 different angles that you can see. The windows are actually made out of decent like wood, so actually not very easy for somebody to break. And there are decent locking mechanisms on the windows. And one of the best parts is the windows have this amazing like rope-like pulley system. So if you like open the window, you don't have to prop it open. It like stays open on its own.
Whoa.
Grauman is gonna move 2 of the beds together next to the window so he can like have a bigger bed, and he's gonna lock
Who's
the
a puppy?
Just like looking out the window.
And then, like I said, there are 2 closets there. Opening one of the closets is actually quite large. Like it can hold everything Grauman carries with him easily in that closet, with more room to spare. And the other one's kind of a dinky little closet.
Sweet.
So, well, you see Thong kind of just walk into the room, and he just kind of like settles, essentially. And after about like 30 minutes, probably, you actually see him rummaging through his bag, and he actually pulls out a cloak. But for the first time in God knows how long, he actually puts the cloak on and covering his mark, and kind of ties it up and doesn't necessarily throw the hood on a stealthy way, but he basically makes himself look relatively normal and will leave.
Reminder to you, Mathis.
I know, it doesn't give me the perception if I cover it.
No.
Plus the wisdom bonus.
Yeah, your wisdom drops down to a 17 from an 18 for covering it up.
Yep.
And the perception part of your spear is also. So your passive perception drops by 6 total. So instead of a 22, it's a 16.
Okay.
Okay.
You
Which is
cold
still
spell?
pretty good.
No. We're
It's
going to be
summertime.
we're going to be here for a while. And I need to get good at speaking with people again.
Ooh,
I'm going to go out.
You want my help?
No.
I'm good at that.
I want
Not-
to learn to speak too.
Not today, Otto, but perhaps tomorrow.
Oh, you can teach me, Otto.
All right.
Okay.
Honestly, all Thonk's going out to do today is just wander the streets and slowly kind of get familiar with the area to the best of his ability.
Ooh, can Otto actually spend time like teaching Grommen the ways of persuasion?
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, hold on. Let me just.
I'd love to do that. It sounds like we
Technically
just made a
speaking-
plan here.
Technically speaking, Grommen's already proficient in persuasion. So all you'd be doing is spending an RP amount of time for an RP alteration in persuasion.
You could teach
So-
me Chingathan or whatever, if that's what they speak the most here. or something.
Oh, Chandathan, yeah. Well, so I've been learning that over the course of several months here. So maybe I can try to pass on what I've learned there.
I mean, you're going to be obviously a crappy teacher since you're a student yourself. However, that will solidify your own knowledge and expedites the learning process for you.
Right.
So,
Mhm. We're both
like anything, if you teach it, you learn it better, right?
yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's go over to Mathis right now for a little bit, and then maybe afterwards we can find some fun antics with the other two.
Language lessons with Otto and Grommen.
Honestly,
Oh, God.
Scott, like just so you have an idea here, I'm not looking to do anything in depth right now. He's just more like learning to learn the town. And
How long do you want to do that? 1, 2, 6 weeks?
God, probably learning the town itself for like a week. Here's the thing, like we're going like straight. I'm gonna have to like talk to you, I think, like between episodes as to the plan, because yeah, I'm not looking to make this like a rash let's murder and try and pin it on him. I want, like, the plan I have in my mind is like a framework, and I want to off camera or like, you know, whatever, just like, here's my plan, and then the next episode we make rolls and time passes and the plan either unravels or it does not.
So what Mathis is saying right now is when this session ends, him and I are going to be up until about 7
Not
in the
today.
morning
No,
Eastern
no,
time,
no, no, no.
And we're just going to keep chatting and going over this. He's saying that, but after it's over, I'm going to be like, so what was just like a quick explanation. And then it's over. And then Maggie's going to stick around for probably 3 hours.
If you just want like an idea,
she's
like we're
"Never mind,
going
I'm out."
like Thonk is going full on Sith Lord here and trying to integrate himself heavily into the town to orchestrate a betrayal that is the most believable.
Oh man, like yeah. Well, I guess we kind of did something like that in the previous town too, because we like became friends with the mayor, did a job for him, and then we kind of
Yeah, and he was an asshole right out the gate. He tried to take shots at me with a crossbow, but it wasn't me,
Whoa.
it was Grommen.
Cassius is a good guy. Cassius is a good guy,
Yeah.
1. And two, I forgot what 2 was, honestly. I forgot 2.
That's all you needed. He's just a good guy.
He's a good guy.
So for now, I'm just out there wandering the city for like a week, probably. Just like in and out, learning local markets.
Let's do it like this. Mathis,
Yeah, I
let's do
come
it
home
like this.
every night. I'm not like, you know, disappear
Let-
for a week. No,
Let's
I'm
do it
back.
like a half week because remember, in Faerun, a week is 10 days.
Yeah, okay, that's right. Yeah.
Remember? So let's do things in chunks of 5 days.
Sure.
That way you get 6 chunks in a month.
And
Oh,
I
yes.
do take and like after the first day, it's the doors are open for Grommen and Otto to come along with me. Like I'm not trying to be secretive. I'm not like skulking in the alleys. For the first time,
Much.
you're probably seeing Thonk try and be sociable a little bit, where it's clearly an act because you know Thonk so well, but hopefully to the people I'm talking to, I'm a relatively well-spoken
Does
orc for them.
Donk actually hang out with us when we like?
He makes an effort.
Oh,
Okay. So let's go over some details. 1, you drop 200 gold pieces on the table. That's 40 days or 4 weeks or 8 5-day chunk actions that we can do. Okay.
Sure.
What you wish to do with those, we'll cover those in a moment. Math has already said what he wants to do with that first 5-day chunk. Okay. 2, Otto, do you jump up on stage and perform for funsies?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If there's ever a day where you don't feel like performing, he's like, listen, you know, we made a deal that you kind of have to like it's one
oh
of those,
my god,
like,
this guy's a
like,
dick.
Listen, I can get somebody in here if I need to, but you kind of made a commitment, and now I'm like if could you at least just give me like, I don't know, 2 weeks notice, which is 20 days notice if you're not gonna be able to make a night, because I have to make plans. I have a schedule to keep. I have patrons to keep happy. I mean, they're paying customers that come here and stay here, so I got to make sure that they're satisfied with the gold that they spend. So
Otto hates this attitude, but Otto's ego is such that he, you know, sort of justifies it in saying, well, I can't take my performance away from these people. They don't deserve that. They deserve to see me.
If you make sorry, Maggie, go ahead.
No, he was just being hype man.
Okay. If you make a performance check, which we'll do in a bit, every 5 days you can make a performance check, assuming that you actually perform each of the 5 nights.
Mm-hmm.
You make a performance check. If you break a DC of 10, I will allow you to take home 2d6 copper. If you break a DC of 15, I'll allow you to bring home 3d6 silver. If you break a DC of 20, I'll bring you home 46 gold. And if you break a 25, I'll allow you to take home 10d10 gold.
That's crazy.
Okay. For your performances.
Fun. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Because there are a lot of people that are coming through this town right now, and they're just throwing gold out there because their first time ever in their life, they have all this money that they're literally finding in the ground.
No.
So
This is going to turn out to be a great investment after all, Grumman. Just you wait. You've done something good.
Oh yeah, I know. I got you.
now the downside is you're getting a lot of these tips in unrefined ore.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's also like work.
You're giving me a chore.
Yeah. It's like,
We can
here's
pay
something
for this.
valuable. And you're like, yeah, thank you for grandma for this, vintage,
Thank you for
record.
this
that-
Sacagawea coin. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Awesome. I get to go on to, freaking eBay and take pictures of everything and write all these,
I'll put
Thanks.
this in my sock drawer.
Thank you. Oh, so funny.
And while you're performing, not every night, but there are nights where there is Thonk with a drink, enjoying the
Oh, you
music.
almost said enjoying himself.
Yeah,
You
like
pointed it
enjoying
out.
the music. It's like he's there. He's drinking like I drink in real life. He's nursing the drink for hours, and if people talk to him, he seems to reciprocate.
Quick question. Hold on. Hold the phone and put it
Whoa!
down. Purified renders it free of poison and disease. 1 action. First level spell. Thonk orders pitchers of beer, casts purify food and drink, and he's drinking it with the rest of them.
I grab my alcohol and I'm like, bing, no more alcohol.
Yeah. Really.
Pitchers. Because think about it, you can do a 5-foot radius sphere centered on one point of your choice.
Kira,
Everything's
listen,
rendered free of poison and disease.
I'm trying to be like, I'm not trying to ruin people's nights.
So, no. What you'd probably do is just do it to your own.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Buy a couple pitchers and just be like, "Oh, I'm an animal. Look at me drinking." And Grumman's like, "Yeah, I don't get it."
I want to see Otto roll. I want to see what he makes for money.
I
Oh,
want
we're
to see
gonna do it
Grumman drink
Oh,
non-alcoholic beer. I want to see Grumman drink non-alcoholic beer and see if
we already
he's
did this before.
See if the
Well,
placebo effect takes.
placebo. Are you kidding me?
Whoa! Is that 10d10 gold?
What a
Let's
start.
Let's just go back to the Shadow Realm. What the fuck? Let's go back to the Shadow Realm.
Now you dupe it.
Now you-
All right, roll your 10d10.
Hold on. Hold the phone.
Can't take it back now.
Yeah, no, it's too late.
No. I'm not that kind of dick.
This
Not
is gonna
that
be the
kind of
most
dick.
amazing performance ever.
It would be even funnier if right before he went up there, Thonk was genuine like, "Good luck, friends," and cast guidance on him. And you actually got that
That's guidance
+1
on
to get to.
Madden.
Get to that 30. That 30. Like, what does 30 do, Delric? What does that do?
You didn't set that threshold, did you?
Yeah. How many platinum is that worth?
3d10 platinum, exactly.
Oh God. Okay, so hold on. Hold the phone.
Right.
Don't press enter yet. You can type it. Don't press enter yet.
I got you.
That moments that we had where he was more or less a dick to you, that was like your second or third night there. And you're like, yeah, I'm like drinking with my friend at like some other bar or maybe this bar. And he like approached you and you're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, are you kidding me? And he's like, no, don't, it's fine. I got like my wife's brother. He can get up there for tonight. Don't even worry about it. He's got it. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
And so he actually like guilt trips you hardcore, and lets you have the night off. The next day, when you come back, Otto has, can you tell me what Otto's flaw is? Can you read that off of your character sheet for me, please?
Otto's flaw. I remember every insult I've received and nurse a silent resentment toward anyone who's ever wronged me.
So this natural 20, this 29 performance check, which is, this is you coming back and being like, you know, and you feel free to RP your quippiness as much as you like, but you returning and making sure that he knows that you're going to be there doing your job tonight. You practiced all day. You rehearsed. Gromit was like, hey, let's go get, nope, you can go have your sandwich on your own. I'm not going to Panera with you today, Gromit. I'm sorry.
Gromit drinks alcohol at Panera.
So you're like, I'm busy. You were rehearsing all day, making sure everything's on point. You choose the story of your choice. Otto, please take away your snippiness to this guy and then tell us what performance you do.
I walk into the room and I just sort of survey the crowd. And I've got this air about me today of, oh, these people don't even know what's coming. I walk up to the bar where I assume the owner is behind the counter. And I let him know. I raise my lute up and I say, ready to perform today.
Oh, I'm good. Thank you. I'm glad.
I wink at him and I say, probably shouldn't bring your brother back. I turn around, walk toward the stage. I'm plucking a little bit as I walk past the patrons, just sort of fiddling around, looking at them, smiling as I make my way up. Not saying a word, making sure everything's in tune. I immediately launch into just a jovial, wonderful, and giddy performance, singing about our conquests at the Battle of Black Hill, one of my favorite stories of our travels, one that I perfected over the months, and I deliver it with gusto to begin my performance tonight. How does the audience respond?
I mean, like you said, you delivered it with gusto. People are like taken aback because the performance that they just had yesterday, you didn't really perform yet. Like one time you went up there and did like this half-ass thing because this crappy thing that Gromit did, and you kind of were distracted. Like, I just got off the road, I just traveled, blah, blah. You did like a half-ass performance before. And then they just heard the brother, in-law yesterday. They're like genuinely like the regulars that are here, Gromit. Thonk is actually genuinely interested in what's going on right now. And Thonk is actually like, huh. And it was one of those, like, you're looking around at the crowd to like get a little bit of affirmation that you're like, but when you see Thonk genuinely paying attention,
Thonk's what does it.
That's what clicks for you.
Yeah.
Mom? Dad actually came to the game?
And I conclude the first song. I let the audience cheer and beckon me for an encore, and I noticed Thonk, and it's just like you said, Daddy's finally proud of me.
You see Thonk, like, as you finish the song, put his glass down, and he just slowly, like, gives you a clap.
Otto sees his moment and knows he's ready to pierce this cold orc's heart. He picks from his back catalog, from the Rolodex of epic ballads in his noodle. He chooses what weirdly can be considered a sad song of an orc. Not normally the sort of theme or attitude that I imagine orcish music really hints at or talks about, but it tells a story of loss and it tells a story of hope almost. And Otto attempts to pierce that cold black heart with a warm tune.
Mm-hmm. And pierce it he does. Holy crap, the crowd is eating out of your fingertips. I mean,
Grauman's like crying.
every note that's being played, they are 100% in trance. It's almost as though you had used you might as well have used magic. Like literally, this song is so on point that people outside the tavern come into the place. The place, like during the first performance a little bit, but certainly during this performance, they're making their way into the place. The place is packed. If there was a fire code, fuck it. The fire chief is actually there, standing on a counter, like, yeah, cheering it on. I mean, the place is packed. People are standing outside. The windows are opened up and people are leaning in. It's no exaggeration. The number of people that have been pulled into this place is just incredible. It's insane. And they're all at your fingertips. It's funny too, because Otto is a very, even in the moment of performing, he's a very present-minded person. He can even, like, the story is something he had preset, but he can even change the moods of things slightly, and you test it at your whim. You change ever so slightly the direction or the emotion of the story, and everybody falls into it. And then you change it back the other way.
As I change it, I am eyeing out individuals in the audience. I'm picking them out and I'm staring them down almost. I'm
almost like you're singing directly to them.
Exactly. I'm aiming the words right at them. Individually, just one by one, members of the audience are just felled by my emotional sword.
It's so funny because you're so on point, and the performance you're giving here is so good. It reminds you of a dream you had. Everybody is just so entranced. It reminds you of something. Anyways, and then like you said, you pierce through that, and just like everybody's sobbing, like Maggie was just saying, everybody's sobbing. I don't know about Thonk, you know, he's entranced, but he still doesn't have a soul. So
I have a soul. It belongs to Grumsh, but I have one.
He took some water from his drink and like put it on his eye.
Yeah, I gotta look like everybody else.
Thaumaturgy.
Oh, no, you use your thaumaturgy.
To kick himself in the balls. Like, watering. So anyways,
I wrap up the second song, and it's a long one, probably 5, 6, maybe even 8 minutes long if I add on a little bit of my own flair to it. And I begin to wrap that up. It's a slow, drawn-out conclusion. And as I sing the last word, I pluck out the final notes, let out a final strum, and just let it hang for a moment before I imagine the audience just erupts in applause. People go crazy, crying, cheering, wooting, and I soak it all up for a second. I don't bow. I don't egg them on or anything. I'm very solemn. I look as though like it really hit me too, what I had sung. I really got into the emotion myself. And then I look for a moment as though I come to a realization, scan the crowd. A wry smile comes over my face. Shout out, Rye. We know you're watching. And I just, all of a sudden, like at the turn of a dime, I launch right back into another jovial, wonderful ballad, and I turn the emotion of the entire room entirely along with me, and they all of a sudden feel just this rise of enthusiasm and hope and happiness once again.
Love song.
And Otto performs like he's never performed before. It's the epic conclusion to his stage time, and he does not disappoint.
So, Otto, natural 20. Let's go over this. It's going to be a multi-layered thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, the crowd is eating out of the palm of your hands. You do not pay for a drink. You do not pay for anything. There are women that will make their way back to the room with you should you choose, and it will make things uncomfortable for Grauman and Thonk.
I will not go. I will not go home tonight.
It will not make Grauman uncomfortable.
No, Grauman's like watching,
cheering.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
Otto, that too.
I don't want to. Here, drink potion, Otto.
He's like, now I see why you take off. You know. Oh, sorry. So like you don't pay for anything for the night. Okay, That's one thing. That goes without saying, though I say it because I'm describing something. Second thing, The amount of money thrown at the stage in varying tiers of coins, copper, silver, electrum, gold, being thrown at the stage, not only is there a ton of it, but every single piece that's thrown out there, not a one of you, and you look for these things, you're not stupid, not a single person goes, ooh, and picks up a coin that's unattended or didn't quite make it to the stage or is on the floor. Not a single person like got greedy. They were like, they look at that coin and be like, oh, he needs it. So many fans would come up to you, and whether if they tipped you by throwing it up there or the case may be, so many fans would come up to you, and it's literally like you would have grown men that are in like their early 40s and have lived like a hard frontier life. You know, they would come up to you and they would be sobbing like a wreck, and they would be like, it's like one of those you can tell that they were crying, and you're like, hey, good, I enjoyed the performance. And they come up to you and they go to say thank you to you, and then all of a sudden they break down. Like this happens 2 or 3 times. They break and they like give you this big hug, but because they're twice your size, it's like whoa, you know, okay. And it's like all these moments that you share with all these, you've touched them in such an incredible way. All that goes away. Roll me the gold.
Hang on, don't roll yet.
Please.
Hang on. I just need to. All right, go. You're good to go.
The moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen, for Otto's performance, he has earned himself a whopping
66
gold pieces.
I'm sorry. You said I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
You got it. You take it.
My apologies. I interrupted you. So 66 gold pieces is in all the coins all over the place, or everything that's thrown on there.
You got everything in one day.
Except because you rolled a natural 20, I'm going to add 50% more to that. So you got an extra 33.99 gold pieces.
99 gold pieces floating in the summer sky.
Again, it's not like it's
dollar bills.
It's not like it's a clean 99 either. It's like, again, there's so many copper, so many silver, so many electrum everywhere as well. So you get all these coins in like buckets that you're able to take, and again, nobody's anything bad about it whatsoever.
Yeah.
But beyond that, actually what goes beyond that is Thonk is the least distracted in this moment. Thonk is the one that's the least distracted, and he's the most perceptive naturally, and he's the most sober, like, completely. So Thonk actually notices that during the performance, when everybody's cheering, when all this happens, he's not sure when this person showed up. But Thonk notices that there's one person. I mean, they're a very fair-looking. It's a very fair-looking man. He stands slightly above the average person. You know, average person being like 5'8"ish. You know what I mean? In this area, being about 5'8"ish. This person's standing maybe like 5'11"ish. Very, very fair features. A nice blonde, like a soft blonde hair. Eye color you can't make from across the room. Very angular, very fair skin. I mean, it's almost like angelic in the way that they look. They watch this performance. When it's over, they give like a genuine like clap. Like unlike everybody else who's like sobbing, blah, blah, blah. They seem to have only the slightest of emotional reaction. A little teardrop is running down the side of their face for the side that you can see. And once the crowd is starting to rush forward to show their adoration to Otto, he actually will turn and against the crowd slowly walk his way out of the room and out of the tavern itself. You notice that. Nobody else does.
My out-of-game knowledge tells me I think I know what that race is. I don't know if my character would know in-game.
Probably not.
Okay.
So
why don't we break here then?
And I was going to say, and with Otto's amazing performance, why don't we take a quick break?
All right. We'll be back for the final hour in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Look what just